All right. Peace, y'all. It's Randy here. So today we're having a serious conversation, man. Just conversation in general. We're talking about your individuality. A lot of y'all are really unique people. And for unique people, you're going to have a unique experience. You're going to have a completely different life experience than other people. And there's good and there's bad in it. And it's really a gift to unapologetically be yourself. A lot of y'all grew up this way. A lot of you, if you grew up, um, and you know what's crazy? The people that are not afraid to be themselves actually go through like the hardest childhoods. Um, you experience a lot of trauma, pains, and different experiences that made you say, "Fuck it," like I don't care. I'm just gonna walk out in the world and be myself. You don't care enough to fit in. You don't want to fit in. You don't even try. You don't even care enough. Let me turn off this damn um, heat. All right, we back, and I got my ring on me. So you know, you went through a lot of different experiences that made you not care. When life throws a lot of things at you, you just stop caring. But this happens to you at an early age, where you really don't see any point. Look at uh, look at Ebony. Shout out to Ebony, man, coming into the chat. I don't even know you was on your phone or on YouTube at this time of day. You gonna keep it clean today? Ebony be on a different type of time. You're gonna keep it clean today? Ebony be on a different type of time. Ebony's she's a super freak. Yo, but let me see. Somebody says shout out to Suman. Suman said, "Give me pins." Hello, Eleni. Eleni Rivas, what's up? So when you go through a lot, um, when you go through a lot at an early age, and the people that go through the most amount of trauma, they don't care. They really stop caring at an early age and they just walk out into the world and say, I don't really care. Or people that were really nurtured at an early age. You're like, your uniqueness and it's like your stubbornness. Like, I see everybody else doing this, walking down this path, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to wear this. I'm going to listen to this. Your uniqueness naturally makes you stand out because you're doing something different from everybody else. Um, Give me pins. She said she's at work. I know you talking junk. She's starting something. Trying to say something. You saying what junk you talking about? Peace be upon you. Shout out to Sukra. And shout out to what's his name? Duran, 1930. What's up? So your uniqueness is your light. That's a gift that you have, right? Your individuality. You think differently. You don't go along with the crowd as much. You don't eat the same things other people eat, and it takes a lot of courage to do that. We live in a world where you actually celebrate it, and you'll be pushed out into mainstream. You'll get everything if you like compromise yourself and fit in with the crowd, right? When you just go along with what the crowd is doing, right? That's how you gain a lot of like social traction. Uh, but you compromise your individuality. You gotta fit in. You gotta wear the same thing everybody else wear, eat the same food, drink the same, smoke the same, and before you know it, you just like everybody else. You're a copycat at this point, and you lose. Like that's uncomfortable. I've never been like that. I always was uncomfortable doing that. I can tell certain groups of people, certain friends would try to pull me in to do this or do that. And, I could be around people but still be myself. But that's why I like my alone time too. Because when you're by yourself, you're not you're not being forced to integrate yourself or assimilate yourself with other people. You know what I mean? Like when you're around groups of people all the time, in order for you to constantly be in that space, you have to assimilate. You have to kind of go with the grain in order to be accepted in that group. And I can't do it. So uh I know a lot of people, but I'm not with a lot of groups like that. And I've always been that way. I've always did my own thing. Um, and it's just uncomfortable to me to just go along with the program, just go along with everything. Um, hit the like button too. Shout out to Turan. Hit the like button. And so your uniqueness, here's the gift though, right? Here's how it's a blessing to you. You'll get certain opportunities that other people won't get. You'll be prioritized in a lot of spaces, right? Even in social settings, social circles, right? When you're around different people, a lot of people will gravitate towards you, right? If you're dating, whatnot. I used to experience this all the time, walking into certain spaces with friends and whatnot. You just naturally stand out. People will tell you this, man. You different. I never met somebody like you before. Where you shop at? Where you buy your clothes? Like everything about you is so unique and different. You naturally stand out. And because of that, you're gonna get a lot more attention than the average person. Because an average person wearing the same thing, got the same sneakers, going to the same type of events, they're not seen as special because they're going along with what everybody else is doing. They're following, the program. It's almost like the military summer. Everybody is uniform. Nobody stands out. But you naturally stand out. You don't want to be uniform. You gotta have your own style. You gotta cut your hair different, right? Your thoughts are different. You perceive the world differently. And even though you see commonalities with other people, you still hold on to your own thoughts because you don't want to conform. It's something in you that won't allow you to conform to the world, right? And so you become special. You become set apart in that way, right? And it makes people want to talk to you. It makes people want to connect with you. It makes people sometimes some people put you on a pedestal. Some people that you come across think that you're in a whole nother level. And that's why sometimes your relationships be funny. Or you might get weird vibes from people that you cool with because it's an intimidation factor, right? Some people be intimidated by that because their whole life they done things a certain type of way, but here you are in the same environment, all right, working at the same place in the same space, but you just different. You just dress different, think differently. So they're like, "Yo, what's this? Like, where you from? I'm from where you from." So they in their mind, they're trying to figure out how are you in the same exact environments that we're in, but you just so happen to be different. That's because you was born like that, and you didn't at an early age. You didn't see a point in conforming. You didn't really care to think about what other people had going on because you're just so in tune with what you have going on, right? And that's where you have the most peace, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. To be honest, that's where you have the most peace, and that's where you vibrate the highest. Because authenticity is your highest self. That's the highest and greatest version of you, is when you being you. And nobody could take that away from you. Nobody could you know what I'm saying, compromise you out of that position, right? Um, that's where a lot of your gifts come from. That's where how you laugh, how you talk, how you smile, how you know, the things that you say, how you affect and change people when you walk into rooms, your energy, your spirit. Um, it makes you very, very attractive. I can't tell y'all how many people I've came across. It's almost like, how can I explain this? It's almost like a lion or something walk into a room, or it's like your own. You're so separate from other people that it makes people want to know who is that. You know what I'm saying? If a girl, all the other girls got a certain hairstyle and they all look the same, which a lot of them do, and a girl, she's different. She dressed differently. She don't care about fitting in with other girls. She naturally, who is that, right? People want to know who you are because they're trying to figure out how are you different. Why are you not going along with the group? And you really become a leader in this way because that's what leaders do. Leaders don't follow the crowd; they lead. That's why a lot of leaders, a lot of people that have authority or they leading in spaces. You might have your own business. You might be in a club or organization. That's why you're a leader because you think for yourself. Leaders are people that think for themselves. So leadership quality, and a lot of y'all born that way. Y'all are lions in that way. That's why when you walk into a room, it's like whoa. People like feel something. They want to meet you. They want to talk to you. I've been in spaces where people just start opening doors, giving me like water and food. I'm like, what the hell? That's because you have a royal spirit to you. When you in your individuality, when you don't care about what other people think and you embrace and accept who you are as a person and you walk in your truth and you're not trying to fit in and you embrace everything about who you naturally are, you you know, this is a very royal spirit. You have a real royal and strong spirit about you. And it makes people respond to you differently, right? Uh, if you have a service or a business, you stand out, and people will overlook so many other people, but they'll come to you because you have the special qualities that they wish they had, right? A lot of people wish they could be themselves, but a lot of people at the same time are too caught up in what other people are doing and they don't want to look odd or weird or they don't want to be too different. A lot of people naturally want to fit in. But when you fit in, you lose that. You lose your individuality. You lose that gift of being that person that God naturally made you to be, right? Shout out to B, uh, 212, and shout out to Mahesh Buddha. Hello, I am from Nepal. Shout out to Mahesh. Hit the like button. So you have a shine and a glow to you, man. Um, this is where a lot of your gifts and your talents come from. It comes from you releasing and expressing how you naturally feel. Everything in this world is like a feeling, right? It's how you feel, your frequency, vibration. It's spiritual. It's a feeling. How you feel creates what you express. So if you feeling connected to who you naturally are and you being in tune with yourself, you express that in a very unique way. That's why a lot of people that are very talented, when you look at it like like a lot of artists, uh, you know, business people, when you look at, people that are running a business or very successful in their work and what they do, even in sports, everything, authors, one of the things that separates them from everybody else is them being themselves. They're gonna dress how they dress, they talk how they talk, they like to eat what they like to eat, they cut their hairs in different ways, and people are like, yo, this person is so weird. I don't understand why they're like that. And that's why they're so successful. Because your individuality is a superpower. There's nobody like you. Shout out to Evelyn. Um, who's that? Mahesh said, I am Heart from Nepal now. Yeah, your uniqueness makes you so damn beautiful, right? It's like um you'll a lot of times you'll get chosen over other people because how unique you are. You get special treatment. That's your special treatment because you have a light about you that makes you stand out. It's almost like a celebrity type of thing. You're a star. When you know who you are and you embrace it and accept it and you live your truth and you're not trying to seek the validation or approval of people, you become a star. That's a very strong state to be in, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Um, because nobody wants to feel rejected. Nobody wants to feel like they don't fit in with the crowd. Um, and a lot of people, it's unfortunate. And I was once at this place, and I struggle here too. But once you start to understand the world around you, it changes your mind. Once a person that doesn't know how to be themselves unless they're around other people, or if you're in a state of trying to seek the validation and approval of people, um, you're not gonna really be empowered. You're not gonna be strong as an individual. Meaning, you're not gonna have a strong personality, right? If you gotta rely on the energies, if you like some people like that, they have to be around other groups of people because they need that social validation. They need to be validated by other people in order to be themselves. In order to feel good about themselves, they gotta be validated by other people. You, on the other hand, you don't really need that. And your confidence is really rooted in God. How you feel about yourself is really rooted in God and how you feel about yourself outside of what other people think. So when you moving in that space, man, a lot of people that use other people for validation, they envy that. They wish they had that. They wish they had that level of autonomy, that level of I don't care about what other people think. I'm going to be myself. Because most people are, how can I say it, hyenas. They operate in packs. They feed off of other people's energy. And so, um, Evelyn said, like when people say they feed off of other people's energy, I'm like, that's weird. Yeah, yeah, that is weird. They do. They feed off of other people's energy. They don't know how to be themselves unless they're being clapped for or applauded, or they have a bunch of friends around them gassing them up. Like a lot of times, you'll see dudes like when you grew up in New York, like in the inner cities, the hoods, the streets. Some dudes don't know how to fight unless they have other dudes around them cheering them on or gassing them up. They need somebody around them to put a battery in their back in order for them to do what they need to do in life, in order for them to handle a situation. They need so much social validation, but when you leave them by themselves, it's like they're a shell of themselves because they don't have real confidence. They're them expressing themselves, their confidence all comes from being gassed up. They gotta have people around them to gas them up, right? But you don't need to be gassed up when you're an individual. You know you have self-love. You know who you are. You gas yourself up in a way, right? When you become self-validated, when you stop trying to be accepted and approved by people, um, when you don't need a bunch of people around you to cheer you on every 2 seconds for you to be yourself or to wear what you want to wear or to have confidence. I'm telling you, a lot of people move like that. And when you get to a point where you've accepted who you are and you embrace everything unique and individual about yourself, you're going to stand out. It's a superpower. People are drawn to it, and that energy is actually better. That energy is bigger. You don't need these little minions around you clapping for you every 2 seconds. Oh yeah, go ahead, yeah. You don't need everybody applauding you for you to move forward. I mean, you're 10 times stronger than the average person. The average person wouldn't make certain decisions, um, wouldn't post certain things on social media, wouldn't pursue a certain career path unless so many other people or cheering them on and telling them, yeah, you could do it, you can do it. Very few people move in a self-validating way. Meaning, if I think I could do something, I'm gonna go do it. Even if I'm not getting support, even if other people aren't cheering me on, yeah, Randy, Randy, Rand. Like people, a lot of people need a crowd to cheer them on, for them to be themselves, make certain decisions, live their life, or even to just to be confident and feel good about who they are. They need, like they're like a boxer. They need everybody in the ring chanting them on and cheering them on in order to do what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, um, I never really, I never really wanted to be that way. I never really had that. Uh, I like being myself. I don't want to be around the crowd. When I see other people doing the same thing, it naturally make me want to go the opposite direction. And when you do that, you build a strong sense of self. You become very unique in how you express, dress. So you're a bright color. You're a peacock, man. Everybody else walking around in this uniformity, right? But you're like, you walk in the room, you're a damn peacock. You just know, you're yourself. You're not looking for nobody to like you. You're not looking to be accepted. So you'll get a lot of great opportunities for this. This is a big reason why you're successful in your life. This is why you're so talented. This is why you always win. A lot of opportunities are granted to you, all for you just being yourself. Um, when you're dating, you naturally stand out. Um, a lot of times you'll have stalkers because of this. We're gonna get deep into this. Cornelius said, "Facts. Hello from Washington." Shout out to Cornelius from Washington. What's up, man? Um, Messi, where are you from? Planet Earth. I'm from the same place you're from, Earth. Nah, I'm from Guyana though. Now you being disrespectful with that second comment though, talking about some illegal immigrant. I mean, it is what it is, but that comment coming from a disrespectful place. Evelyn said, I actually feel uncomfortable getting cheered on by a crowd. It feels like charity. I'd rather show out and get acknowledged after I succeed. Yeah, but see, most people don't know how to do that. Most people, in order for them to even take a step forward, in order for them to just make one little step towards whatever it is they want to do, they need a crowd to cheer them on. They literally need that. And if they don't have that, they'll crumble. They'll literally break because they need that emotional support and validation for everything they do in their life. Evelyn, she started laughing. You're gifted in that way, man. And everybody could get to this point if they will learn how to accept who they are and not seek the approval of people. Because one thing I learned at an early age is like, I can't depend on people. I can't don't depend on somebody to like me. I can't depend on the thoughts of somebody to do what I need to do. It's really a waste of time. And why am I trying to borrow the thoughts, ideas of other people to live my life? So I naturally always felt the need to do my own thing. And when you're tapped into individuality, you have a strong sense of independence. You think in your own way. You dress in your own way. You eat differently. A lot of times when I was going through nutrition and transforming my body, they're like, yo, why you do this? Why you do that? Why you eat like that? That's different. I never heard of that. That's because everybody out here is eating pizza and burgers every day. So if you're not doing that, you're considered, you weird. But for me, it's like, I don't want to put that stuff into my body all the time. You know what I'm saying? Not all the time, every once in a while. Even the music that you listen to, you vibrate differently because you listen to different music. And so you're a very unique person, and you'll oftentimes, like I said, you'll be stalked because of this. Because a lot of people in their mind, I never met somebody like this before. If you got a social media page, people stalk you. They're watching you. They're looking at you. They're seeing what you're posting, what you're thinking about, what you're talking about, how you're looking, your face expression. Because they're like, oh my God, I never met somebody like. I've had to block people myself, y'all. You know how many people I had to block? I had to get rid of a lot because they're stalking you, and the whole time you don't even realize it. They're watching you. Every single post, everything you do, they're watching everything. So it's like, damn, you never get a break, and kind of find out they're creating new accounts because your uniqueness is, makes people obsessed with you. It's a high for them because they crave that thing. They're like, how do you do that? How do you just like wear what you want to wear, say what you say, think like, why? How are you just so unique like that? I never met somebody like you before. A lot of people crave this because most people out in the world, they it's like they want to fit in. They care about what people think too much. It's not wrong with being aware of the thoughts of others, but when you care about what people think to the point where you're afraid to be yourself because you're worried about what other people are saying about you to that point, that's dangerous, and it robs you of so much of who you are, your natural self. So when people see you, they're like, damn, I wish I had that. How did they just do that? How did they just like move by themselves? How did they, no matter who's supporting them or not supporting them, they still go out and they execute on certain things and they end up being successful? When they don't know how to do anything unless they get, hey, go ahead, yay. Like, you don't need that. So you're stronger emotionally, spiritually, mentally than the average person. And that's why you stand out. Your energy too is spiritual. Now, a lot of times the bad thing is the bad experiences that you'll have for your individuality, you get a lot of opposition. Like I said, you stand out, but you stand out. And in this way, people will look at you from a standpoint of arrogance. Like they think you're arrogant. Who do you think you are? You coming in here doing your own thing. You think you're too good for us? You think you're better than everybody? I had this told to me all the time. And it made me look at people like, yo, what are you talking about? You crazy? Um, because you have a very strong aura. You're very confident in who you are. You know who you are. You're not trying to compromise who you are to fit in with nobody. So you carry a very strong aura. Um, you're not caring too much about what other people are saying or doing because you're always doing your own thing. People take offense to this because, again, they wish they had it. So some envy comes out. Competition comes out of a lot of people because they see there's something different, there's something special about you. So it makes them want to try to outdo you all the time, outshine you. Your individuality is a threat to a lot of people because they see that you're gifted. They see that no matter what you do, like the way you dress, you move, they could tell something special about you. And a lot of y'all have a lot of success, but on a way that you naturally threaten people. You naturally make people feel the need to compete with you. And not even on a skill set level, but on a personality level. They want to prove that they're better than you. They want to make themselves feel like they're smarter than you. They want to dress better than you. They see you dress uniquely. Now they're trying to pull different stuff out of the thrift store to try to match your level. Um, you might get sabotaged, right? Some people might try to block you because they're afraid when you're on your path to doing what you do because you're such a unique person and a lot of people gravitate towards you. They want to be around you. They like they want to invest into your business, your product. They will try to block you because they know based off of who you are, if you keep going the way you're going, you're going to be really successful. And that's a difference really in a lot of businesses, right? Everybody might have the same exact product, but what makes them stand out is their brand, is the individuality of their product, the freedom in it, right? The natural juices, the core of it, um, the style, the sign, the design, the everything. That's you. You're like an individual business that naturally stands out around other businesses and entities, they sell the same product, they're doing the same exact thing, but they just don't have that touch of individuality, that authenticity, right? That's you. You're around just like everybody else, but you got a touch. You got the it factor because you know how to be you. And when you in tune with who you are, you naturally stand out. It just people you might be walking or in a store and you're sitting down, you're sipping your coffee, you kind of feel like somebody's watching you. Kind of look up and the person they turn their head. If you experience that all the time, that's because you're very unique and people just they want to look at you, they stare at you because oh, damn, I never met saw somebody like that. You shine. Your authenticity make you shine and glow. Um, and that also creates envy because they're trying to figure out how come you're shining but they're not shining. They're trying to figure out why people might be excited to see you, but when it comes to them, it's a very normal, generic response to their presence. They're trying to figure out how they post the same thing you post on social media, but they might not get as much engagement. They're trying to figure out how you all of a sudden get certain blessings. You get opportunities, you build wealth, and they're like, yo, I'm doing this and that, but then what are you doing? Because it's like you're around just like everybody else, but you're having a completely different experience because you're different. How you think, how you move, how you interact, what you attract is different. Shout out to Aveline. She's showing the chat. Mad love. Um, my man, who the hell? I don't know who this is. Messy guy. Dude, a clown for real. Shout out to Evelyn. Somebody said, what is it? Wadi is here. We're talking about your individuality. We're talking about the gift of it, right? But it's also you have good and bad experiences. Your authenticity, what makes you you, what makes you unique. Just being an individual human being, which most people don't know how to do. We live in a society where everybody want to fit in. Everybody's just so concerned with status, and a lot of the status is just about being better than other people. It's like people want to be better than other people, but they're all doing the same thing. They just want to do it a little better. But when you tap into your individuality and you embrace who you are, everything about you, how you look, how you speak, your intellect, how you dress, what you eat, what you like to do, your hobbies, the music you like to listen to, just when nobody's around looking at you, will you embrace that person that's alone, that's not around a crowd of people, that doesn't really care about what other people are saying and thinking? And you know how sometimes we can be very self-conscious and kind of be like, oh damn, what are they gonna say about me? How they gonna when you embrace who you naturally are and you start to remove that being self-conscious and insecure about yourself, and you start to really embrace and accept who you are, it's like boom. When you walk into a room, you blow up. It's like your energy is super powerful, right? Thank you, Laura Cassidy. Shout out to you. Shout out to Ebony. Yeah, this guy, I'm gonna remove him. Nah, high user. I don't even know if I could block people yet. Okay. Yeah, so your energy is like, damn. You gotta really and self-love is the most attractive thing in the world. When you really love who you are, you embrace yourself, you love. It's like for some of y'all, for a while, you might have struggled with that. You might have struggled with embracing yourself. You might have had insecurities. Um, you might have questioned some people question how they look because we're always drawing a fucking comparison to other people. Um, Let me see. Laura, what is Laura talking about? Who's your friends? And where you from? Yeah, man. So you draw envy. I had a unfortunately, y'all, I had a roommate like that. I had a couple of ex friends I had to cut off like that, yo. Uh, People around town talking about you. This is my situation, right? People around town talking about you. You're being applauded. You're being celebrated. Um, People talking about your pictures, what you're doing on social media, etc. Now they got a negative response. Now they talking about you behind your back. You see a lot of negative reactions from your friends and even your family when you really start doing your thing. But the negative responses is not that you're doing anything negative, yo. They're trying to dim your light. Your authenticity creates your light. That's what makes you shine, is you being you. That's literally what makes you shine bright. Is your when you tapped into that energy. Um, Let me see. And so you draw a lot of envy, negative energy, attitudes from people because in their mind, who do you think you are? You think you better than anybody? You think you special? Yeah, I do think I'm special. I don't think I'm better than other people, but I know I'm special. Um, but they want to take that light away from you because they haven't found that within themselves. A lot of people still walking around, um, going around other people, drinking and sipping the same thing, not because they actually like it, but because they want to fit in. They're wearing the same type of clothes, but because that's what's in. That's why you see when you see the most richest and successful people, and they just walk down the street with anything. It's not that they like being a bum or they don't know how to dress. Some of them do know how to dress, but it's like they ain't really caught up in that. They're not trying to. They don't think about what other people saying about them. They don't look. You know what I mean? They don't. They're not trying to be cool. And the greatest cool is just you being you. That's what's cool. Is somebody being themselves. I respect somebody that's themselves versus somebody that's trying to put on and patch on all this stuff just so that they can fit in with the in crowd. But the truth about this is this. This is not going to be, super long live. But the truth about this is very difficult. When you walking on this line, on this path, is very, very difficult because most people, like in order to kind of get ahead in this society in certain ways, you have to, or you people feel like they have to fit in. They have to go along with the crowd because in the crowd there's connections. In the crowd is where everybody's going and doing, and nobody wants to feel left out. But that's the biggest mistake they made. Let me tell y'all something. You're missing out by not being yourself. When I was around a lot of people, when I had a lot of friends around with cliques, all these cliques, you bounce around from this group to that group, and you over here with this group, and you over there with that, right? Um, it's like you lose yourself. You lose yourself because you're always in the mix, and you know what I mean. You're partying with everybody, you're drinking with everybody, so it's like you kind of lose a touch of your individuality because in order to be in these groups, you have to kind of fit in. You gotta be doing what they're doing because if you're not, then what's the point of you really being around them? You over here doing your thing when everybody is in the same room is, you know what I mean? So it's hard for people to be themselves because they want to fit in so much. But you miss it out on being yourself. When I started walking my own path, thinking for myself, uh, just having the courage, it takes a lot of courage to invest into yourself and wear what you naturally wear and do what you always wanted to do. It's powerful. And that became that catapulted me to all my success. That changed my whole life. Is really just really being bolder. I've always been myself, but just being more bolder about it. Just really doubling down on my own individuality and authenticity. Um, so don't worry about the haters. The people that are mad at you or envious of you or got a problem with you, they're just mad because they don't have the courage to do that. So they're like, damn, how do they do that? How are they just themselves? How can they embrace themselves like that without having a lot of people around them to applaud them and clap for them all the time? right? Um, it's really unique, man. It's really unique, and it's spiritual. Even the universe will bless you. You'll get all kind of connections and resources and opportunities and level ups in life because you're in alignment with yourself. And if you're in alignment with yourself, you're in alignment with the universe because you have a universe inside of you. The real universe isn't out there. The real universe is in here, right? Who said this? Somebody said, shout out to Nick. Um, the Warriors 1515 said, I recently passed everything to become a police officer. I'm 21 now. Shout out to you. My family don't fuck with me no more. Damn. That's crazy. Um, that's wild. Yeah, people are messed up. You gotta fit in somewhere regardless. Yeah. 48 laws of power. Um, yeah, Evelyn said, "Nah, I'm a leader." Yeah, but it's not to say that you're by yourself. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is you know how to hold on. It's nothing wrong. You can hold on to your individuality and still have plenty of relationships. I do, right? But you have to be around people that don't see that as a threat. And a lot of times when you're around small-minded, low vibrational, low frequency people, they will resent you for you being who you are. Um, and in the 48 Laws of Power, remember that book? Robert Greene, he talked about if you're doing what you're doing, right? If you're being yourself and you're shining, you're being successful, whatever it is that you're doing, and you're around friends or people that resent that, or you can tell like they're envious of that, it's either one or two things you could do. Number one, you could either lower who you are and like shrink yourself so that that group won't feel uncomfortable or threatened by you. Or number two, get a new group of friends. I remember that exact part of that book. And when you shrink, you lose. When you shrink and you make yourself small to make the people around you feel comfortable, you lose your authenticity. You lose your superpower. And you get small, right? You get small. You lose a lot of your power. You lose your confidence in a way because you have to dim everything about yourself in order to make these bitch ass people feel comfortable. How that's so sad. You're so weak and insecure that somebody being who they naturally are makes you feel like insecure, envious, because a lot of times what made me not do that is the fact that I was around a lot of friends who I supported. But when you doing your thing and you're shining, they got a problem with it. It's almost like y'all friends just as long as they're doing better than you. And so I'm like, I'm not shrinking. I'm not shrinking for the same person and group of people that I supported. But when I'm doing my thing and I'm living to the highest degree and being myself and going out in the world doing what I'm doing, now they got a problem with it. You got to get a new group of friends because now all the power is in their hand. You're allowing somebody else to dictate your light. Like you letting somebody control your light. Uh, they don't want nobody to control their life, but they want to have control over yours. No, sir. Everyone is like a puzzle, and you trying to fit into the wrong spot. Most people are. Yeah. I would like to have you talk about your personal experiences with unsupportive friends. Yep. Yeah, I'm doing it right now. Yeah, envy is a human nature. We all could feel envious or hate on somebody. Um, I haven't really felt that since maybe I was a kid or something. You know what I mean? Like when I saw some dude, I think it was basketball. I had a crush on this girl on a basketball team. And some dude was always trying to talk. I'm like, fuck is this dude, man? uh, but envy of like hating on somebody like in my adult life. I really just focus on myself. So I don't even, and I like to see other people win, but I don't really see somebody win and be like, oh, who they think they are. But when it comes to unsupportive friends, I experience that all the time. I was around some people that, again, when you're around groups of people um, that you might not realize at the time you're not in alignment, because a lot of relationships can be surface level, especially when you're really young. Y'all hanging out, y'all partying, y'all laughing with each other, whatever the case is. Uh, you shining without even realizing it could be a threat to the group. And I realized I was around a lot of friends who misjudged me, meaning if everybody doing the same thing and it's on the same level, we all friends. But if you shine too bright, they'll feel threatened by that or wouldn't want to be your friend or go against you. I found myself a lot growing up kind of doing that, kind of dimming my light to make my friends and people around me feel comfortable because I can tell if I really, you know what I'm saying, if I really started being walking in my fullness and the full truth of who I am, that will make people feel uneasy, uncomfortable, envious. So I experienced that and then I broke out of that. So I'm gonna tell you about this particular situation. I just touched on it just a second ago. I had a friend I met in college. We cool, we hanging out, blah blah. We do support each other, right? We laughing, we partying, we in classes together sometimes. We put each other on in information, right? But yeah, shout out to the Warriors. Said people hated me crazy when I was younger because how ambitious I was. That's another thing, man. So I end up roommating with this friend, right? Same thing with me. Start shining, investing in my fashion, ambitious, doing my thing. Now everybody that knows me, they're talking about me. They're talking about what I'm doing. And this dude, he can't take it. Oh man, he ain't all that. He ain't all that. And this is why we're in the group of people. They kind of saying it. I'm like, what? And they're like, yo, chill, Randy, chill. Don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it, because they could see me like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? So when I started really tapping in, just like doing my own thing, going after my dreams, working, being ambitious, um, just stop. When I stopped trying to pretend like I was mediocre, like I knew I wasn't. When I stopped pretending like I was and really start walking in my truth, walking in my power, doing my own thing, being ambitious. This friend, he detached himself from me. You would hear nothing but negativity coming from him. Everything I do is a problem. If if I got like a bottle of wine or something that everybody likes, they'll say, "Yo, Randy, this damn, where you get this from?" He'll go, "Man, I don't like this wine. It's nasty. I don't like this shit. I don't like this wine." Everything I do that people applaud me for and celebrate me for, and they're like, "Whoa, you different. I like how you dressing, Randy. I like how you got this. Where you get this food from? You cook this." When I'm being celebrated by people because I'm shining, I'm just naturally being myself. And people are like, "Whoa, like, damn, bro, like." I'm getting positive reactions from other people, but he can't stand it. Can't stand it. And so before I would give this person support and what they would do. But when I'm doing my thing and I start being ambitious, shining bright, I wasn't holding back my light anymore. I wasn't dimming myself to make nobody feel comfortable. That made a lot of my friends envious. They felt a lot of them removed their support from me through social media. Um, a lot of them are try to compete with me. It's secret competition again. Some of y'all have friends, and y'all friendship is predicated on that person believing that they're better than you, that they're smarter, that they're superior, that they might, they think they look better than you. So that's why they like being your friend, because you made them feel better about themselves, because low key they felt like they was better than you. But the whole time, me, I was holding back my light to a large extent. But it was subconscious, so I wasn't even realize I was doing it, because I have this like empathetic side to me, that I want the people around me to be in a good position. I want people around me to be, to feel good. But without even realizing, I was compromising myself and dimming my light to make that happen, to make others feel comfortable. So Evelyn said they must have been white. Nah, they was black, but they told me that part of their experience is like, this dude, he was like, yo, man, he felt like he was white, because he was like, he didn't really. We had black friends, but he had friends from other groups. But that white part is like, some girls, like especially with black women, they felt he wasn't black enough, or that type of thing. He was kind of corny, like the corny black guy that everybody thinks is white. Like, the Oreo cookie, the Oreo cookie guy, the black guy, who to where he black, but he kind of act white, or people think he white. You know what I mean? He's not really or at least it's not really perceived as black. So that was kind of his thing. But that's probably the white man in his thinking. Because why would you be upset at seeing another brother shine, another black person shine? I love to see other black people win. I love to see it, man. It's only certain groups of people that have a problem with seeing black people win. It's either some of other groups, or a black person with a white mind. Your mind is somewhere else. You should want to see your own people win. But that was a problem. Every little thing I had, smiling, laughing, I got something that people like. I'm being celebrated by my peers, whatever the case is. Never liked it. And I think they went on a smear campaign to try to make me look bad, because they were mad at the attention I was getting from everybody. They didn't like it. So they tried to turn around and try to make you, but it didn't work. It didn't work, because people see the truth, right? The warrior said, when you well spoken and don't act hood, you want to be white, or be white guy. Yes, make no sense. It doesn't make any sense, man. And I hate that narrative too, to where we feel like we feel like as black men in our culture, it's like it's lame to be intelligent. The smartest people, the wisest and the most intelligent people I ever came across in my life were black. Maybe it's because of certain spaces I was in, but I did go to college and two universities where it's mostly white professors. The wisest and the smartest I've ever saw were black people, black men and women, professors and everything. I think black people should be, and not be, but embrace our intelligence. A lot of black people that you see every day, smart as hell, bro. So smart, but we hide it, because in our culture, or in the black American culture, but in our culture in general, because see, I'm West Indian, and in our culture it's the same thing. If you're too smart, you're not cool. So in order to be cool, you gotta be done. It's almost like around black people for a long time, it's changing now, but for a long time, if you're too smart, if you speak too well, you're lame, you think you're white, and it's backwards. And that's the reason why for a long time it's taken us a while to make progress, because we don't embrace what really makes us great and what really could advance us. But it's starting to change now. Shout out to Earn Your Leisure. Shout out to the Nation of Islam. Shout out to 19 Keys. Shout out to me. Um, but then, yeah, this friend had a problem with this, man. I think for a long time he might have thought he was better than me. He might have thought he was better than me in different ways. I'll catch a little comments here and there. I'm like, what? Not what, but it's like, damn, that's where is that really a joke? You know? Um, and it was a lot of them. It was a group of these people. You have to cut them off, man. I have to cut them off. And they did that on purpose. Now that I'm shining so bright and I'm getting attracting a lot of things to me, they want to separate themselves from me because they think that if they separated themselves from me, that'll make me crumble because they think I'm like them. They thought I needed them to feel important. Like when I really started to tap into who I really am and embrace my power and shine, they separated themselves and went along as a group, and they thought that isolating me would make me fall because they thought my confidence and my light and my spark came from being around them and them validating me. No, sir. No, sir. That's why I say embrace who you are, man. You do not need a bunch of people around you cheering you on like a boxer or some entertainer in order for you to feel good about yourself and do what you need to do in your life. Um, this situation backfired. It backfired heavy, heavy, because they thought that them leaving me would make me crumble. Um, but they think, first of all, they thought that was my only friend group. They thought they were my only friend group. But they also thought they also like underestimated my resilience. Again, because they're thinking in a way of projection. They thought that, in other words, if it was them and their friends left them and separated themselves from them, they would feel bad. They would crumble because they rely on being validated by other people. That's why they move the way they move, because they got to be around each other, hyping each other up just to live their life. When I don't need that. And it's like they thought that would make me crumble, but I just kept doing my thing. And I would live day to day and I would forget that they even around. So some people would try, that's another thing. When you tapped in with your individuality, um, a lot of people try to test that. In their mind, they're like, there's no way. There's no way you're like this. There's no way you naturally don't seek the approval of people. There's no way that you're this confidence. You're this confident, excuse me. You're this confident when you don't have anybody around you hyping you up. There's no way that you're like this. This can't be real. So we're going to test this. We're going to remove ourselves from you. We're going to talk about you. We're going to do this. They want to poke holes and test to see if that's who you really are. If you're really as authentic as you appear to be. Because in their mind, they can't fathom that. They're like, how can you be yourself? How can you shine, feel good, be confident, glow, make money? You understand me? Be successful. And you don't have a bunch of people around you kissing your ass, hyping you up, telling you all these great things about yourself. There's no way that you feel this way about yourself and you're self-validated. This can't be real. So they test it. They test your authenticity. They test if you're really that secure in yourself. So they try to make you feel insecure, right? It all backfired because I am who I say. That's why I could get online and make content, because I'm living in my truth. I could talk to y'all straight. When I turn this camera off, when I get off of live, I'm literally this person. Most places I go, people are like, oh my God, you have good energy. You know what I mean? Because I don't have the need to have ill intent towards anybody unless they want to make themselves my enemy. But when I walked down the street the other day, I gotta tell you this thing. The other day, I walked into this deli store, right, the Spanish spot, and I saw a cat jump out. Phew. Shit is so fast. It was like a gray cat. It said, phew. I guess they live in the store. I guess it's their pet. And it was just staring at me like this. And then it kind of relaxed. So this lady behind me, this white lady, she was like, oh my God, when I came out, it ran from me. I was like, yeah, damn, it was just staring at me. She was like, yeah, that's because you have really good energy. I'm making this stuff up, y'all. When you really in tune, when you tapped in with who you are, even like animals will respond differently to you. But humans act this way towards you too. That's why a lot of y'all, you make friends easily. A lot of people like being around you. You're like a celebrity. Everybody know you. Everybody talk about looking at you. But at the same time, you create a lot of ops. But you never did anything to people. You just being yourself, and people hate the attention that you get. People don't like how grounded you are, because they like, damn, how did they do that? How do they have that? How are they so authentic like that? How did they walk into rooms and without really saying much, so many people want to be around them and talk to them and meet them and follow them on Instagram? You know how many times I have people I was having a random conversation with, they're like, oh, what's your Instagram? Men and women. And it's like, in my mind, I'm like, why is it? I can feel it. Like the way people, like sometimes that I meet look at me is like, they're intrigued by you. A lot of people are intrigued by you. You're a mystery, but in a good way. Not in a mystery just to be a mystery. People don't question you, they're intrigued by you. You're very attractive. When you're in your authentic space, when you embrace who you are, you love who you are, you accept who you are, you celebrate yourself, you validate yourself. People like, who is that? I want to meet them. What's their Instagram? What they want to get to know you. You're attracting people to you. You're pulling opportunities to you. But again, unfortunately, you got some hating ass friends, man, who don't have that. But instead of being support of that, instead of saying that, yo, what are you doing, bro? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you how are you doing that? What's going on? You doing so you got on some cologne or something? Instead of kind of asking you, see, these haters are so bad, man. It's so goddamn terrible because they have too much pride and too much ego to ask you, what is it that you're doing that's making you so attractive? You're attracting opportunities, you're leveling up in life. What are you doing that's like making that happen? They got too much pride and too much ego. That's why you gotta be around people that's on your level. You gotta be stingy with your energy, y'all. Not everybody deserves to be around you. This might sound a little arrogant. This might sound a little narcissistic. It might be, but you gotta move that way in this world, right? Um, because a lot of people try to take that away from you because they're jealous of that. They're like, yo, how are they doing that? Why is everybody speaking so positively about this person? But when I walk in and I'm trying to like get attention, nobody pay me no mind. A lot of people try to ruin your reputation because you just naturally connect with people and people rock with you. Like, so you gotta protect that too. You gotta protect your authenticity. You do. Because the people will try to ruin that. They'll try to bring you down. They'll try to lower your confidence. When you are an authentic person, you dare to be yourself, which is like very unique. It's not a lot of people do that. People will try to play psychological games on you. By the way, um, shout out to the cash, not shout out. Make a donation to the Cash App for support of the content. Cash App $ Randy Harlequin 3. But a lot of people play mental gymnastics with you. They'll try to attack you psychologically. It's almost like they want to dumb you down and make you feel like, well, you're not as special as you think you are. Who you think you are? It's like I had people at jobs that try to like. It's usually a hating ass manager because they see that you have a lot of success. They see that you have a lot of great things on your resume. You're very successful at the job, and in order to keep you there, in order to keep you from pursuing your own business or having your independence, they'll try to make you feel small. They'll try to humble you. When you're authentic, when you're self-validated, you love yourself, or you're confident, people will try to make you not like yourself because they see that's your superpower. Your superpower is your confidence, and you naturally like not giving a fuck. Like you don't care what nobody think. You're gonna be yourself. So they try to take you out of that. Um, you'll get a lot of attacks, but the attacks are more so about that person's insecurity, not your not nothing about who you are. It is about who you are, but it's your greatness, it's your gifts, it's your shine, it's your glow that pulls out the insecurities in some people, and they'll make them want to lower you because people are competitive. That's one thing about human nature too. People are competitive, and nobody really wants to see somebody else do better than them. That's what it is. People don't want to see you better than them. That's why my friends reacted that way. But I don't really feel that they were really my friends because if you're really not being genuinely supportive of my success. And it's like it's weird. It's like everybody else around us to support me, but you, and you supposed to be my friend. But you hating, but everybody else I know is supportive. Like you're not my friend. Gotta get rid of these hating ass friends, man. These niggas be hating. You gotta get around hating, jealous, envious friends. I think I made some content about that before. I gotta make content about that going again moving forward. I have to get rid of a lot of people like that. Um, some of your friends, a lot of you know what happened to me. A lot of friends I was around for years, like their family members would tell me to support their endeavors. I would show up for their birthday, do this, do that, and they'll watch everything I do and know that I'm like I would want or looking for the support of my friends, but they never gave it. Come to find out, they don't want to see you shine. A lot of your friends don't want to see you shine brighter than them. They don't. They really, really don't. Um, and that's the thing that happened to me. I show up for a lot of people. I showed up for a lot of friends, family. Sometimes I even overextend myself because I wanted to see that person win. So I put a lot of energy to them. Well, you notice when you're winning, okay, you see all these strangers and people like, including y'all the family, right? See all these other people support me. Then you start to remember, oh, where my friend from school? Where my friend from? I was just hanging out with them last summer. You know, where my friends? We usually talk. We usually FaceTime. And you think like, damn, I was so supportive of this person. I met their family. I supported them on so many different things. But when I'm doing what I'm doing, you don't hear nothing from them. I get so much noise and praise from people that I don't know, strangers. But the people that you was there for all this time, it's like you looking under rocks. It's like, where are my friends at? Not your friends. They're friends just as long as you don't outshine them. Just as long as you're not doing better than them, y'all the best friends in the world. And they love you because you playing small made them feel comfortable. You not knowing how powerful you are made them feel superior. You not looking as good. You not being in shape and shining and looking good and got your body right, ladies. Fellas, if you know what I mean, you ain't get your swole on at the gym. If you ain't, you know what I mean, just as long as you weren't a monster, now you a monster or you're turning into a monster and they're witnessing your process. They're witnessing your level up. They're seeing how strong you're getting. They see your confidence growing. They see you leveling up in life. Your friends will disappear. A lot of your friends, they love you to death just as long as you're not doing better than them. They love you. They're comfortable. You being down makes them feel comfortable. You being a smaller, lesser, maybe a more insecure version of yourself, you not being in shape when your skin isn't glowing the way it was now, the way it is now. When you are like lost in the sauce and trying to figure it out, trying to find yourself, um, maybe your confidence wasn't on the level it is now. Maybe you wasn't in shape. Maybe you were overlooked by y'all peers, but they were the ones that got all the attention, right? They like that version of you. They're not gonna support this greater version of you. They loved you when you were lesser than them, so they thought. But now you're this stronger, sexier, smarter, richer. You look better. You're glowing. Your skin just popping. Every time you get attention. Um, you have no problem in your dating life. Everywhere you go, you're handsome or you're pretty. You know what I'm saying? Like you just turn into your own star in a way. Your friends will go away. You'll be like, where my friends at? Where all these people that I was talking to in high school? Even some college friends. Where, like, even your family members. I experienced the same thing with family too. Your family be around you all the time, but when you start investing to yourself and you said, I'm gonna do my own thing. I love my family, but I gotta live my life. I'm gonna invest into myself, do this, do this, do that. Your family will hate you. They will come against you because even your family is like that. You're not supposed to be better than them. You're not supposed to break the family. It's like your family is like in this bubble, right? You're not supposed to break the bubble. You're not supposed to do better, shine brighter, achieve more than anybody else in the family. And if you do, They'll try to pull you down. They'll try to sabotage you. They'll try to isolate you. They'll hate you. They won't invite you to certain places. They'll go quiet. You ever notice how a lot of people were around you when you was just like walking around like everybody else? You didn't know who you are. You didn't know your power. You didn't awaken to your God self. Now you know that you're divine. You found your connection to God. You invested in yourself. You made a mission. You made a you made you made a commitment to really start investing in yourself and start making steps towards being better, doing more, looking better, fixing your body, fixing your finances, everything. People go silent. And it all means, all it is that the people that you were around when you were coming up, they weren't meant to go with you. Some people are meant to stay on that level because they don't want more. You want more. It's your ambition that separates you from people. You're very ambitious. You want more out of life. And some people aren't on that type of time. Some people liked you just as long as you was down where they were because you made them feel comfortable. Um, and that's the thing I experienced with my friend, multiple friends. You're doing better, you want more, you're shining more, you're leveling up your education, you're investing into yourself to become better. All of a sudden, you get weird energy, real weird energy. I had another friend like that. I was wondering, like, when I met him, wow, the vibes was weird. Like when people tell me, "Oh, hey, I see what you're doing, your own fitness stuff," and people try to, like, you know what I'm saying, and they kind of like, I saw that it was like 1.5 seconds, and after that, it kind of switched back into like we're friend mode, and my boy, you know what I'm saying. But I saw that little like, I saw that one little fuckery. I saw the one bullshit. So okay, I see you. I see you. I have to let that person go too. Childhood friends and all. Yeah, man. I gotta tell y'all this, man. It's not your job to humble yourself to make people feel comfortable. It's not your job to diminish yourself and to dim your light. And sometimes that's why I was afraid of my own light. I used to be afraid of my light because I'm like, damn. I feel like if I really tap into this shit that I know I got, I might lose the people I love. And that fear, a lot of times we don't do what we really want to do because it's fear. It's fear based. It don't necessarily mean that you're afraid of your life, but we're so we you might love the people you have around you. You might you might be comfortable too. You might love the comfort of things. So you're afraid of being uncomfortable because you don't know what's gonna happen. You're afraid of failing. A lot of my fear used to come from fear of success. Realize there's nothing to be afraid of because everything that you want, you can get and you're strong enough to handle it, including the loss of friends, the loss of people. Because I realized I can't build my life being connected to those people like that because it will keep me down. What's the point of living if I'm not being my true self and a full version of myself? And if I tap into that energy, when I'm tapping into that energy, the people around me aren't happy for me. What's the point? What's the point of being alive if you're not being alive? It's like that version of me is like you're dead. You're a zombie. You walk around on autopilot, fitting in. You don't have an original thought. You do the same thing everybody else does. Um, that's a dull experience, and I kind of had that. I had a part of myself that kind of like I tried to like fit in, but no matter how I tried to, I couldn't. It's not. I can't fit in, man. God won't let me. That's because you was meant to lead. The reason why a lot of y'all don't fit in, you were meant to lead. That's why your coworkers hate you. Your family might have an issue with you. Um, your friends got a problem with you shining. You got on some new sneakers. You got in shape. You started making content or starting your own business, or you started learning stocks. crypto. You want to teach yourself new things. You want to learn. You want to read. You want to level up. You meditated. You stop eating certain foods because you want to clean your diet up, clean up your body, clean up your mind. You started reading your Quran, your Bible, whatever it is that you wanted. Like you, like man, I always wanted to do this. Always dreamed of doing this. So I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna. When you make that decision to start doing what you always like, the dreams that you have, you're gonna turn into another person, and you can't help it. Once you make that first step, and you really can't go back, because this feeling of feeling free to be yourself and just being in your power, it's like you can't, to experience this level of freedom, personal freedom, independence, authenticity. It's like you can't go back, and a lot of people try to take you off your path. Um, a lot of people try to take you, the people closest to you too, and a lot of people without realizing it, that's how they live. They never took a step towards what they really wanted to do. They fit in. They wanted to be liked and accepted by the crowd, by the group. But you know, I have siblings, but I grew up alone. So you grew up alone, you know, as like an only child kind of way. I naturally did my own thing. Um, and I feel like you should be around people that embrace who you naturally are. If you gotta live your life, you gotta compromise and shrink in order to make friends, in order for your family to be good with you, that's miserable. It's uh it's like you're oppressing yourself. It's self-oppression, self-containment, self-neglect. You're neglecting yourself. You're not being who you really are. You're not free. You're in a cage. In that cage, the bars of the cage is the validation of other people. You gotta live your life for you. You gotta choose you. Live your life. There's nothing wrong with living your life. People might try to add negative connotations to that, or who you think you are, or he think he this, she thinks she that, or they think they better, or they working out, or they making us look bad. A lot of people don't want you to invest into yourself because you investing into yourself to level up and just to live your life. They see it as a threat because it makes them look bad in comparison to you. But you're not even thinking about comparison. You're just thinking about what you're trying to do with your life. They're thinking about it as, oh, people are going to see that they're doing better than me. So I got to try to cut them off or cut them down from this process or from getting to where they want to be because I can't afford, like, it's all about competition, what people thinking. And that's exactly why they were that way. And that's why you have to get the fuck away from them. You got to get the fuck away from these people, man. I think everybody deserves to live in a truth, and I think that's the happiest place people will be. And even right now, as I've been, watching, I gotta one second, man. I think that's the best place we can be as people. So many people aren't happy for that reason. They try to run away from it, but that's the best place to be. Is being yourself. A lot of people walk around insecure, worrying about what people think. And I used to be one of them to an extent because we go through those phases. But I just can't, it just feels better to be you. It's free. You're not thinking. You're just being. You're in a flow state most of the time. Uh, it's feel relaxed, like you sleep better. Your skin glow. Your teeth get whiter. You might grow taller. I don't know. It just you feel bigger because uh limiting yourself to make other people feel comfortable makes you feel small. You don't feel like yourself. And I was really unhappy in that space. When I realized that I was kind of doing that, I was like, ugh, can't do that. I can't live like that. I mean, um, shout out to Evelyn. She said, I pray that we all gain new loving friend. Yeah, man, you gotta be around people that's on your type of time. A lot of time you gotta get in a new environment. You gotta get around. I realize A lot of it had to do with the state I was in, the environment. Sometimes it's your city, it's your state. You literally have to get out and move to another state in order to meet people like that. Because there's other people around the world that have that and experience probably the same exact shit that you experience, but y'all can come together. You can come together with that familiarity, right? Um, yeah, man. When you're in a small town, grew up around Jersey City, when you're in a small town with small-minded people, a lot of times it's not you. You're not doing nothing wrong. You're not crazy. When you're around small-minded people, when you do bigger things with your life, and it's not about being doing bigger. It's not about anything comparison to them. When you start living in your truth and being yourself, they see it as a threat because you start shining. Um, it's crabs in a bucket. When you go up, people want to pull you down. Insecure people that think small. And sometimes I realize, yo, some of the people didn't want me to level up. They didn't want me to really start investing into myself because they didn't want to get left behind. Some people want to keep you down and work to undermine your process and your development of growing because they don't want to be left behind. Sometimes it's for a good reason because they like you. Sometimes it's for a bad reason, meaning these people ain't shit. They wanted they wanted to keep you down because as long as you were where they were, they'll be able to use you in a way. Um, they can't. They see you leveling up as loss of access to you. A lot of people don't want you to shine too bright because they don't want to lose access. There's a lot of insecurities in this that come from other people. But I think everybody should just, that's how everybody should live, yo. What would the world be if we weren't so fucking insecure and holding each other down and them trying to dim each other's light? That's why it's only, I don't want to say a select few, but there's a lot less people that are walking in their truth, and the majority of people are like walking around trying to fit in with society, walking in the pack, and they just doing what everybody else is doing. They're just following the program. I don't got it in me. Shout out to Ebony. She said great topic. Shout out to Ebony. Yeah, you're outcasted a lot. When you walk into your truth, you're outcasted. But by certain people, there's some people that's gonna embrace you and love you for that. Uh, Evelyn said it's generational trauma. You have to fit in or get out. It was the same for my family. They came from Mexico, but weren't allowed to speak Spanish. They would get hit if they did. Damn, that's crazy. My Hispanic family is good, is hard as fuck, good in bad ways. That's crazy. Evelyn said, can you believe I used to get made fun of having big butt and big lips? That's wild. That's some crazy ass work. Evelyn tried to. No, that's wild. That's so crazy. It's like they don't want you to stand out. A lot of people that hate on your features like that don't want you to stand out. They mad when you walk into a room, you get all the attention with your hips and all your ass and all that. It's an attention thing. Nobody want to see you get a shine brighter than them, man. That's it. Um, said James Windler said, thanks, man. I don't want to hide my light under uh Michelle, man, damn, people judge them, then simultaneously underestimate you. Does make a woman want to go small. The warrior said it's because you are scared something will ruin the success and take it away. That's kind of my situation now that I'm a cop. My family act weird when I'm around and don't invite me much. Yes, and leveling up would be easier, so much easier with help and support. Also understand I level, then you level. Just give me a chance. Yeah, they don't want to go up with you. They don't understand that if they support you, you will be able to go up, or they will be damn, what the hell? They would be able to go up with you. You would want to take these people with you because they're your family, they're your friends. So you want to take them with you. But when you see the hate, you gotta let them go. It's their insecurities and their, I don't know, abandonment issues that make them think that if you level up, they're gonna lose and be behind and they're gonna be left out. Like it doesn't have to be that way. You can take them up with you. But see, part of the reason I see that is because a lot of these people that might be projection. That might be a projection. That might be them saying to themselves, if that was me and I was leveling up, I would leave everybody behind. So now they assume you would do it. You know what I'm saying? They probably assume you would do it because that's what they would do, low key. Low key. You got to be around people that support you. You have to be around people that rock with you and support your growth as a person, your success. Um, a lot of times, you know, it's crazy. I've been seeing a lot of these videos on social media, and a lot of people are going through that. A lot of people are not talking to their families no more. A lot of people are not talking to their mothers because a lot of y'all, you realize your families are the ones that's been holding you back your whole life. They've been the root of so many misfortunes, pain, trauma, setbacks even. It be your own family. A lot of people, when they get to a certain point, they don't talk to their family no more because they have not been able to live their life because of so much of what their family did. Sometimes it's mental, psychological, sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's financial sabotage from their family. And a lot of people are doing that. I be catching y'all. A lot of people are walking away from their families. A lot of people are walking away from their parents. People are just tired, man. And I think it's generation to generation, we've been taught that because because we're family, you supposed to sit here and tolerate my bullshit. Because we're family, no matter how many times we abuse you or neglect you, you supposed to still keep coming back to the cookouts. You're supposed to still keep coming around. You're supposed to still love us and honor us and be loyal to us because we family. That's what we're supposed to do. We taught that family means loyalty. You know, I was texting ChatGPT something about this. ChatGPT said a lot of people were taught family means loyalty, but just because you have a family, that don't mean that you're supposed to, you should tolerate anything being around them. You know what I'm saying? That means you're supposed to tolerate their BS just because we family. I say even ChatGPT understand. So people out here ain't crazy. People out here aren't just abandoning their families or separating themselves from their families just for the sake of it. Everybody's on this type of time. You know what it is in societies, like everybody's tired, Joe. Everybody's tired of slaving at these jobs, dedicating your entire life to a job where you're being overworked a lot of times, underpaid. And you giving your entire life to this company to make their dreams turn into reality. But what have you invested into yourself? You ain't got your own business. You ain't did nothing that you wanted to do. You ain't invest into your passions to generate and monetize that, make a living for yourself. We tired of being abused. The men the men are tired of the women. This society has made a lot of men feel, what word can I use? A lot of men feel undervalued and dismissed by the society. You ain't this, you ain't that. A lot of men are hated. Women feel undervalued too because for a long time women felt like they weren't able to express themselves or use their talents or their gifts because they felt relegated to housewife, etc. To a certain extent, that's true in American society. Um, Not as a black man, as an African, it's not the same. You know, our women have a lot of power. Even in the continent of Africa right now, they got a lot of politicians and African leaders that are women. But everybody's tired. Children are tired of their parents, tired of being abused. People tired of fake friends. Everybody cutting their fake ass friends. I'm even tired. I'm tired of fake people. I'm tired of toxic family dynamics. Tired of being lied to by the society. Every time they turn, it's crazy how they bringing in all this AI, but when you're in high school, they never taught you about. They don't prepare you for like entrepreneurship, financial literacy, artificial intelligence in school. Like they know what's coming, but they intentionally don't prepare people because they're just preparing you to work their jobs, to run their businesses. And all my whole life, I always knew that there was something ain't right about the society. Something ain't right about your family. You gotta understand your family. Sometimes you gotta study your family. Understand what the hell is going on. Why everybody acting so weird? Why everybody so negative? Where's this coming from? You start studying trauma, you start studying history. I found my family tree. I got a cousin that's a mechanic. Went to go get my car fixed by him. He showed me the whole tree, all these names, list, this, that. Start studying you know what I'm saying, your grandmother, your great grand. You're like, oh shit, this is what's going on. And I still got love for my parents and stuff, family, but some situations are just too toxic, bro. You gotta choose yourself. You gotta choose peace. Um, Ebony said absolutely. Love my mama, but her secrets aren't mine. Yes, tired. Evelyn said, God is teaching me how to lead my family by example. And sometimes that includes distance. But it also includes loving communication when they're receptive to it. Right. Elaine, peace, brother. Yeah, shout out to Elaine. Welcome to the channel. Hit the like button. Mr. Valentine said, to hell with them. I got my own path. Yeah, a lot of people say, the hell with my family. I've seen some videos, people like, yo, fuck my family. That's how people talking out here. People like, fuck my family. You know, sometimes it's your own family, yo. My family been toxic. I got toxic family members. But now a lot of my family come around showing love. Some of them. Some of them. But you know what's going on? You know what be going on in your family that you don't realize, yo? Some of your family be lying on you. Sometimes that's why you experience so much negativity from a lot of your family because there's certain family members that lied on you. Some of them lied. So now the family's thinking certain things about you that's not true. This shit is toxic. And they lie because they don't want everybody to find. Again, when you walk into your truth, you're a very unique, talented, gifted person. You have a lot of specialties to you. You're special. People will lie on you. And the lie is to make you look bad. Because if people were to find out who you really were, you'll get a lot of love. You'll get a lot of support. You'll get a lot of, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people spread lies about you sometimes, man. I had this done to me a lot. A lot. I'll be coming to find out like, yo, what's going on? Who's saying what? Whole time. I didn't have the same people who try to go around and tell lies about me. When they see me, when they've been seeing me for the past few years, they drop their head down. Now they trying to apologize. Hey Randy, you Randy, right? What's up, man? They went around lying about me to try to ruin my reputation, go on a smear campaign. Because the people that really found out who I really am, that's why they lied, because they didn't want me getting attention. You know you that special, you gifted. When people gotta go as far as to like go out of their way to lie about who you are, to ruin your reputation because they're afraid if people find out who you are, you'll blow up. You'll get all the attention. It's uh that's envy, bro. That's envy, that's secret competition, and that's just weakness. Because if you're really better than me, right? If you're trying to compete with me, and if you're really that good, just compete and be better. You wouldn't have to sabotage, a reputation. A lot of times, if a certain person likes you, somebody that likes that person that isn't getting the love and attention from that person, but that person is attracted to you, they'll spread lies about you. They won't tell the lies to that actual person that's attracted to you. They'll spread lies around the circle that y'all around because they know eventually word is gonna get back to her or him. And they want that person that is attracted to you, that they like, that they see as their crush. That person is supposed to pick up on what's going on and be like, oh, that's who they are? Nah, I'm good. I don't want to deal with them. A lot of people will spread lies about you to ruin a relationship, business. Um, you just, you know, family, whatever the case is. A lot of people spread lies about you. And again, it backfires. And when the people realize that everybody else is waking up to what's going on, they'll try to come back and apologize. Too late to apologize. That's why I be making these videos, because I be going through it. I go through the same thing I be telling y'all a lot of times. Um, but then it's like it's too late. And then you kind of get mad because it's like, y'all bitch at, like, y'all really sitting there believing everything. It's like the people that were told lies about you, it's cowardly in another sense because y'all sat there and believed it. You just out, you didn't even come to me, question me, you just believed it. But now you find out that all those the gossiping and all those narratives were false. Now you want to come back. It's like, why you just outright believe it? A lot of y'all weren't supposed to overcome the smear campaigns. The smear campaign was not only designed to ruin your reputation, it was also designed to make you doubt yourself. Because people, a bunch of people going around, thinking negatively of you, got all these negative things to say. That's supposed to mess with your mind. That's supposed to get you to doubt yourself. That's supposed to make you like, damn, like feel bad, like, damn, everybody talking bad about me and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to affect you in that way. But when it backfires because your truth is too strong and you are too strong, now everybody feels sorry. Now the same people who are so confident in ruining your reputation, try to make you look bad, trying to ruin your relationship, trying to ruin this, ruin that. It's like they're embarrassed. And it turns around full circle because now everybody's talking about them. Oh, they see that? That's fucked up. They went around and spread all those lies about such and such. Yo, that's messed up. I'm blocking them. I don't want to be around them. That's what they out here doing to people. Now people are finding out about the people that lied on you. Sad. I had old friends that try to do that, man. Gossiping, smearing, because they're afraid again. I'm telling you, man, y'all understand the oil that's on your life. You got oil on your life. That's why you get attacked. That's why people try to lie on you. They're trying to dim your light. They're trying to knock you down before you can get to your destination. They don't want people to know who you are because you'll turn into damn near a celebrity overnight. So they gotta lie. You'll get that thing. You'll get that opportunity. You'll get that relationship if people were to know the truth. But it's sad, man. It's like I said, the people that were told lies about you, it's too late to come back because you believed the lie. Why you didn't come to me and tell me nothing? Why didn't you tell me this is what's being said about you right now? Is this true or not? What's going on? That's like a 3 second question. That's just, it takes three seconds to ask that question. But they don't want to ask the question. They just go, oh, that's what's going on. That's who they are. They go along with it. And that makes me not rock with other people too. Had to cut a lot of people off because of that. Because once they realize some of the bullshit and the lies that was said, um, it's like it's a turnoff to deal with you. I don't want those people around me. I don't want to have them type of, you know what I mean? I can't rock with y'all because you believe that. And you went along with it for a period of time. So what's the point of us being connected now? What's the point of us being friends? You believed it. You sat there and you really believe this. Some lies that were told about you were told for years. So what's the point? Ebony said, honor thy mother and thy father, honor the divine feminine and divine masculine within. Elaine, real for real, brother. James Windler said, I just want to smile and live my joy. Kind of feel like I just want to keep on track and leave the heavy on the curve. Yeah, I can handle the lies because fuck them. But the daily judgment and feeling haunted is real old. Yes, tired. You're right. I appreciate your courage throwing all this on the table. Yeah. But the lies, the things that people go around saying about you, it's irrelevant. Just live in your truth, man. Live in your truth and live your life. Don't let nobody steal your joy. Um, some people, again, gossip and this and all the negativity is designed to rob you of your joy, to throw your energy off, to sabotage you. I cut so many people off to protect my peace. Protect your peace. A lot of times, that's really the key to your momentum, your success, is protecting your energy. Everything in life is energy. So you gotta unapologetically protect that shit. You know what I mean? But it's you pull from these experiences, but I feel so much better from my past. Like I had a period of time where I was dealing with bullshit. That when you cut people off, man, that's on bullshit, that's negative. You feel so much lighter in your energy. You gotta protect your energy out here. Uh, Fake friends, gotta cut them off. You can't work with them. Don't dim yourself. Don't shrink. Cut them. Cut them. Cut them. Cut them off. I don't care if it's coworkers. I don't care if it's a friend you knew since childhood. I don't care if it's a family member. You gotta do whatever you gotta do to get to where you need to be. And a lot of that takes energy. Sometimes you're mentally blocked, emotionally blocked, spiritually blocked because you're affected by a relationship that you have with somebody. And the only thing that could really solve it is cutting them off. Real talk. Sometimes that's the only thing that'll do it, is cutting them off. Yep. So, thanks y'all. Thanks for coming through. Eveline said, when you disconnect from the negativity, it's like a slingshot into abundance. Oh my God. That's a whole fact. Eveline, where you from? Yeah, you get slingshotted into abundance. It's a fact, man. You feel so much lighter. You start sleeping better. You just manifest a lot easier. You get bigger and better ideas. All of a sudden, you coming around, you seeing all kind of opportunities. You looking at your phone, you say, God damn, all kind of positive and great things, messages, I can't tell y'all how much. It's like she said it in a nutshell, man. Abundance. Cut off the negativity, and nothing but abundance comes to you. Nothing but abundance. That's a whole fact. Evelyn hit it on the head. Uh, Let me see. She in Cali. A lot of dope people that I've been meeting through social media, like other content creators I've been connecting with and stuff. They're from Cali, man. You got people on here from Florida, Cali, Evelyn from Florida. This East Coast shit gotta go, man. It be brick as hell out here, yo. It be brick as fuck, yo. Yo, it be cold as hell, yo. I can't do it. It's not in me to do it. It be cold as hell on the East Coast. New York, Jersey, PA. Sometimes I be sitting back when I be outside, like I be thinking to myself, like, it makes no sense for it to be this cold. Like, why is it even this cold? I mean, it made me I just start dreaming about Cali. I start dreaming about the South. But I don't want to touch the South though. Everybody moving out there, man. Everybody and their grandmother down south. It's a turnoff. I don't like doing the same thing everybody else is doing. I can't do it. Um, I remember I used to work for Verizon call center, and the meanest people were from the East. Yeah, New York people. Yeah, they're mean. People out here are mean. Um, but it's like some people out there. I heard people in Cali be nice. Um, People act differently on the East Coast. Yeah, people like, yeah, I get that vitamin D, so I'm happier. It be cold as hell. People inside. People can't wait to get to their car, get inside the house because it be so fucking cold. It don't make no sense. The cold would turn you almost into a bitch. People running. Oh damn! The cold be making people scared. It's cold as hell. When you like damn, like you kind of nervous to go outside. You're like damn, it's cold as hell. I don't. It's like the cold make you scared. It's like there's a whole fight. You walk outside, you fighting, yo. You fight even if it's to get to your car. You kind of like, oh shit, you fighting that shit. But yeah, shout out to y'all. Shout out to Cali. I'm gonna tap in with y'all soon. But let me get up out of here, man. Got things to do. Got to charge up. Got to make moves. Stay tuned for the content, y'all. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Subscribe if you haven't. See y'all next time. Peace.